everybody, it is Claudia over at Colorful Creations, and today we are doing part 2 to our Sir Daijin video tutorial. Right now I am making his tail, and all I am doing is rolling that tail out between my hands and on my glass tabletop. He has a bulbous or thicker end of his tail, so I'm making sure one end of his tail has more of a round spot and the base of his tail is more thin, like so. There I am, securing the tail onto his little booty and sitting him in our little coffee cup that we have made. You're going to want to play around with your clay figurine and sculpture to see which way fits in your cup best and holds it up the best. This is also kind of where I realized I had made a mistake. I made my cat too head heavy, and every time he was in his cup he was falling over. But I just stuck his tail onto the glass surface to hold him up straight for now because I needed to take some time to think about how I was going to fix this problem. So, on with the show. Here I am attaching two little pieces of clay that I have rolled in between my fingers for his arms, his two front arms. And I am using my favorite handy dandy trusty rubber tool to make sure everything looks seamless and nice and clean. The gloves I'm wearing are way too big for my hands, which made doing this project a lot more difficult. I couldn't remember where I put my other box of small gloves, so I'm just working with what I got. Here I am, just making sure everything is still nicely attached and nice and seamless looking. I go over my figurine lots doing this, so feel free to do this lots with yours as well. Now we are moving forward to the eyes, and this was the most difficult part of the project for me because I really wanted his eyes to look like the anime. The first Daijin I did, I didn't really like his eyes, which is the Daijin to the upper right side there. So the second one I made, I really wanted to make sure his eyes looked good. So I just stuck a piece of clay, flat rolled out clay, to my glass surface and drew out my eyes and cut them out with my pokey daughter tool. Not daughter tool, it's just a pokey tool. I promise I'll start learning the names of these, but now I'm using my knifey tool thing to get more of the eye shape I want, and I'm keeping the clay stuck to the glass because it just makes it a lot easier to get the shape that you're looking for. And when you take off your eyes, make sure you use your razor on the long end and not the wide end, because if you do the wide end you'll flatten out your eyes and they're a pain in the butt to get the shape back. Now I am taking some black clay and I am flattening it out, and what we're going to be doing with this black clay is we're going to be putting our bright yellow eye on top of the black clay, because Sir Daijin has a black spot around his eye, and doing this is just a lot easier than trying to redraw another eye shape. That would just be a huge pain in the butt. And all I did was cut and trace around my yellow eye just a little bit thicker than the yellow part, so I had the black showing. And I'm just making sure it's the shape I want and cutting it off of the glass and sticking it onto his face. I am now going to repeat the process with the other eye on the other side of his face. His eyes are fairly close to his nose. The point of his eyes are very close to the point of his nose. So make sure you do the eyes point downwards towards the nose and up towards his ears fairly dramatically. Now you're gonna watch me real time make the color part of his eyes, and I make his eyes wrong the first few times. I make quite a few mistakes. So if you just want to sit back for a moment, I will let you know when I get to part of the video where his eyes are actually how I want them to look, and when you're gonna want to start making the green part of his eyes. So art is all about trial and error, and so is working with clay. So it's okay to make mistakes and have to start over again. Sometimes you just have to outsmart your project. Like sometimes your projects want to outsmart you, but you got to show them that, oh no girl, you're smarter than the clay. So this is where I think about just rolling out the clay into the shape I wanted, and I was like, I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. So if you want to join back in, you just want to roll out some green clay, and you want to roll it out to a thin line to the shape that you want and to the length that you want. Cut it to the length that you want, and then once you got the length that you want and it's all rolled up, you can use the end of your tool to stick it on and stick it into the middle of your yellow eye. And because it's already rolled up, it looks too thin, but when you press down on the clay with your thumb, it's gonna flatten out and it's gonna give it more of the iris eye look. I don't know eye terms, guys. I'm not an eye doctor. So I'm doing the same thing with the black part of the clay to put in the center of his eye. We're rolling it out to the shape and the size that we want. And then once I get the shape and the size that we want, and we want this part to be pretty thin and pretty small, I stick it on. And then I again push it down with my thumb to flatten it out so it has more look to it. Now I'm taking some white clay because he has a sharp shine in the center of his eye in a lot of the seams. So we're going to give him that sharp little shine in the center of his eye. I'm doing with the white the exact same thing I did with the green and the black. I'm rolling it up so it's really thin, and once I get the shape and the size I want, I'm going to pick it up with the end of my tool and place it on the center of his eye, but lengthwise this time instead of upwards. So now I'm just cleaning up my figurine after all of the abuse I just put it through with making the eyes. And we are also going to be wrapping up part 2 of making Sir Daijin. Unfortunately, this video is going to need 3 parts because I guess I just spend lots of time making my figurines. So this is part 2. In part 3, we're going to stop him from falling over, and we're going to add a cute little nose and some cute little pink to the inside of his ears. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I really appreciate you guys joining me and watching them, and I also appreciate the constructive criticism. I need anything I can take to learn and grow. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a great time and a great day and a great whatever. Goodbye.